when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes.
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
You die, I die.
You got life! Cowhide. Synthetic cowhide.
He's flying.
Scooby-Doo-Doo.
Are you watching closely?
We actually are a volume dealer, so we actually do really, really good deals. A lot of people fly out of state to get to our cars.
Josh, don't dox yourself. We're live. Don't
What?
dox yourself. We're live.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here's my address.
Don't
Everyone
dox
fly to
yourself.
North
We're
Carolina right now. Go to 127 Kensington Drive. That's my work location. This is an ad.
Well, that's
Sponsored by
kind of what I was
Hendrick.
saying.
Just kidding.
I was gonna look it up, but
That's
okay,
crazy.
all right. Welcome, boys. I like good deals on volumes. Ihondor says.
Good to see everybody. Also, one more thing before we go. It's not if I'm not to
We're
it
already live.
if I'm not to it at 5 o'clock, it's gonna be fine. But there is we finally found a good church, and I'm gonna trying to go to like a young adults thing at like 5 o'clock. So I'm trying to aim for that.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta be off by 5.
Well, that's fine. All
I
right.
got nothing.
Well, Nolan Bros are back. I think I said that Insomnia was our real last, but I think this is going to be our real last, outside of maybe the Odyssey and maybe just some other fun. Like, you know, we're never not going to get to it again. It's just,
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know how the Odyssey is gonna turn out. That's for with all the because I haven't really been following it, but now I know all the drama that's going on about the cast and all that. So we'll see.
Michael's
and
hot
Mr.
take.
Mr. Oh,
Go ahead.
I
Oh,
was
go
going
ahead.
to say Mr. History Major over there is probably not going to love it.
Yeah, Michael's also a history nerd, and she's like, I'm so excited for it. But all of the costumes are Hollywood costumes. They aren't Odyssey costumes. And also, she's not super happy about the casting of Odysseus because Odysseus
Yeah.
was much, much bigger in Homer's version. And
Like
Yeah.
a large man.
like a large man, like he was a captain.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He led men. And I don't know if
Yeah.
is it Matt Damon, right?
Matt Damon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite the
Yeah, well, I get-
Goliath that
the-
I think you expect in that.
Because everyone's gonna be like everyone's throwing fit over like a Helen of Troy, which whatever whatever's gonna happen with that, I don't or whoever Achilles is. The thing is like this is the Odyssey though, so it's not as focused on like the actual Troy part itself. So whatever like unless they have other characters that are gonna be thrown into it, they're gonna be odd choices. I think you're not gonna really see that much of it as well. But yeah, we'll see how. I'm just curious how he's going to put his spin on it because I think that's what we said earlier. You're just kind of scared. I've kind of just been a bit skeptical and like Nolan doing like his super realism, timey-wimey, wobbly stuff that he likes to do, and what he's going to try and do with the Odyssey. That's just like an odd juxtaposition. So,
Well, think about it
we'll
like
see.
Go ahead.
think about it like Oppenheimer, where it was just it was a historical narrative, but it was told in a different way. It doesn't have to be Tenet where where the story revolves around time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it could be told differently.
Mm.
Or like
I
the
think
Dark
it's gonna
Knight movies even.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's gonna be a lot like that, but it's just gonna be the two storylines of probably his son and Odysseus. What's his son's name again?
Telemachus.
Telemachus.
Yes.
Lilithius.
Okay.
Lilithius.
All right. Well, we got 40 minutes to go through and do this thing that I've been thinking about for years now, ever since I was like, oh, we will get to the end of the Nolan movies, at least, you know, someday at the time of recording. I do think we should all watch the Odyssey this summer and report back later in like 2 months. It's in like 5 weeks only.
Oh, weird.
I remember, well, Zach walked out of Disclosure Day, not the movie. He went to go get popcorn before it started, and the Odyssey trailer that played was in 5 weeks. So, yeah, we saw Disclosure Day. That's a topic for a different episode. Actually, we might do a full episode on Disclosure Day. I think it's really fun, and the concept hits more than the execution, but I'll leave it at that. I think Zach said it's his number 2 movie after Project Hail Mary for the year.
Yeah.
I thought ever.
It's still
No.
it's still good, but a lot of people are hating on it, and I think rightly so.
Yeah.
But all right, so we're gonna go through. I need a list of all of
by the way,
Nolan
Seth, if
movies.
you want, I did post in the Discord my own little timeline thing you can look at as well.
Oh yeah,
the guys are kind of rifling through my on my Google.
Yeah,
Doc
because it's
right
not
there.
just that.
Learning all my secrets.
Can you,
Can you,
William?
Yeah.
Can you share it? Is it in a shareable format to like
go
the
to
live
the
chat?
Nolan Bros. Board.
Well, don't share it to like
Don't share it to everyone.
the public Discord.
That's what I meant.
No,
I don't
I'd
think
make it
so.
Oh
easy
my
with that.
goodness. Oh, he has 15 pages.
Including
Not
the
all that
leg
is about
workout.
that. It's just the first.
Okay.
It's just, okay. This is I just posted it into this document. This isn't what the entire document is
I
about.
see. I
It's just
thought
the
you
first two
wrote
pages.
15 pages of the theory of the Nolan verse.
Just some headcanon stuff. Brainstorming.
Okay. He has his leg workout in here, you guys. Do you know you can make another document, or is this all you can make? You have the
I think I
ultra
actually made
budget
this
version?
work out for him. I think I made this work out for him.
This is the one because so this is like my kind of like my miscellaneous stuff I need to get on, so I'm just posting it here to get it out of the way. Yeah, this is what Joshua did. So
it's like your junk drawer, but it's your junk document.
Yes,
I love this upper body workout. Stretch however you. That's all it is. Stretch.
In my defense, I was like trying to copy it from from my phone onto this with Google, and it was okay.
Okay.
I just...
So we'll reference Williams. I have split screen open, which Firefox just introduced. Also, yes, I'm a Firefox user.
I'm a
gross
Firefox user as well.
Nice. I have on the left IMDb frequent collaborators of Christopher Nolan, which I will share in the live chat for the sake of anyone else.
Have we really introduced what we're doing in this episode yet?
Oh, I think I did in the description, but I don't expect everyone to. We're gonna try and connect all the Nolan movies in our head canon, and the only thing that's actually going to matter is the actors. I do not care about time period. I don't care about names. It's just the idea that the characters played by the actors are all the same person somehow. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be quite a stretch. I think I told Zach Michael Caine is the key because he's been in the most of them.
Yeah.
And this is like the Pixar theory of Nolan. And it's not going to be anything
I was about to say
crazy.
the Pixar theory. Yeah.
It's just going to be goofy.
I think I've got a line. I think I had a line that makes so much sense, but it completely hinges on Tenet being the entire foundation of the entire universe.
Well,
okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because there's two ways,
I didn't put that
maybe
much thought
three.
into
I think that I would justify having so many different people being recurring figures in history or whatever.
Yeah, this is okay. I love finding out actors' original names, like their birth names. You guys would never guess Michael Caine's. I'm not even going to have you guess what Michael Caine's birth name was.
Something Welsh.
Maurice Joseph Micklewhite.
Bless you.
I don't think Sir Maurice Micklewhite would have carried. Christian Bale is, well, that's just his middle name. Christian Charles Philip Bale was born in Pembrokeshire, Wales, UK.
Yeah, because he's got a Welsh accent.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think this frequent collaborators of Nolan, I think, is listed by most appeared to least appeared. So, like I said, Michael Caine is the key. There's actually not that many. It's just that there's so many that appeared in so many, because Christian Bale is only in he's in 4 movies, but he only plays 2 characters throughout the Nolan verse. Tom Hardy. So this must be by the amount of movies because it just says Christian Bale is number 2 with 4 appearances. Dark Knight trilogy and The Prestige. Tom Hardy is in Inception, Dark Knight Rises, and Dunkirk. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in Inception and Dark Knight Rises. Oh, it's not in order. So Cillian Murphy is Scarecrow in, I believe, all 3 Dark Knight movies. Inception, Dunkirk, Oppenheimer. So I don't know what order this actually is in.
But hear me out.
What?
To simplify this by like a lot, we can pretty much take out the following Memento and Insomnia, because I don't think those really feature any of the actors we're talking about.
True, and that's the case of like, I think The Good Dinosaur is one of those that everyone's like,
Yeah,
it doesn't really fit in the Pixar theory, not because it doesn't fit, but because there's nothing that actually crosses over.
yeah. So I'm just gonna take those three because I have a chronological order list of
this. Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
ones
push
first.
back only because I did a quick search on the IMDb page. Martin Donovan is in Tenet and Insomnia. He was Eckhart, the assistant or the secondary detective, and then he was in Tenet. He was the guy who woke up the protagonist and said, "We saved you. You were tested, and this is your sign at Tenet." And so, I don't think that needs to be what we spend our time doing, though.
I'm excited for the characters like Cillian Murphy and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's
we
going
need
to
to
be
talk
like
about those.
those are the meat.
Memento.
So we should keep Memento.
No, I'm just looking. Mark Boone Jr. was the guy at the front desk of Memento, and he was also Detective Arnold Flass in Batman Begins. So that is a connection, I would say. But yes.
Tom
Wait,
Hardy.
what movies? What was Martin Donovan in? What 2 movies? Tenet and what else?
Insomnia. He was the He was the guy who got shot at the beginning. But you're right. Is that we don't need.
I think one thing you can use to try and one way you can try and do this is I've been just looking onto Wikipedia and going to the cast section and then just kind of comparing them as well. That's kind of
I asked
that's a lot of
ChatGPT to make me a list.
What I'm going to do is I'm taking all the cast lists, plugging them into Gemini, and then I would have them like isolate who has all been reappearing in and in what films.
Yeah. Well, I just have these top few. I think we're going to focus on Michael Caine, Cillian Murphy. Who else do you think? Like Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. Kenneth Branagh.
Anne Hathaway? Wait, hang on. What's the connection with Anne Hathaway?
Catwoman.
The Odyssey, the Dark Knight trilogy, and Interstellar.
Oh, I didn't even consider the Odyssey yet.
Yeah. Yes and no, because like you have to know the story, and I don't. The story of the Odyssey.
I know the story of the Odyssey, so I shouldn't have had an
All right.
I listened to Epic the Musical, so I'm an expert.
I listened to Epic the Musical, and I read the book.
So good. I haven't read the book.
I'm gonna listen to the musical after I watch the movie. Okay. Where do we want to start? What is canonically first, or not canonically?
I mean, the Odyssey is the first chronologically.
I suppose.
We think
Dunkirk goes. If you want just like a timeline thing for each film, it generally goes. It goes Odyssey. We have the one with
Prestige.
Prestige, Dunkirk, Oppenheimer.
Is the Prestige?
Wouldn't it be Oppenheimer then Dunkirk?
Yeah,
well, that's true.
It's more like Oppenheimer kind of focuses more on after the worst, but it doesn't really matter. What was the other one?
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Oppenheimer is
Inception,
such a wide
Tenet, Interstellar.
Following or the Alaska one, Insomnia. There we go. Insomnia is in 2002. Let's see, what was the other one?
All right.
Batman was from 2005 to 2012.
I do want to.
Tenet is after that, and then you have and then after I think Tenet, like when it happens, is in like the 2020s, I'd say, or something like that. And then
I have Tenet
after that, quote unquote, is when Interstellar happens, because it's sometime in the near future.
Interstellar makes more sense to be the last one because that's like the end of the world.
Yeah. William, do you mind if I just copy the Nolan verse portion into Discord for people to read?
Yeah,
because I don't want to read it word for word, but I would love to share it, and I don't want to share your document. I do like what I'm seeing from it,
including the leg workout.
Why is it just oh my goodness, it's just sent as a text document. That seems. I guess it's too long.
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only going to send as a text document unless I did section by section, which I'm not going to.
Well, I can do that if you want. If you want to
Actually, I'm going to do
focus on
half and
something.
half. There we go. Oh, my message is too long. Gosh dang it. Okay. So it is there in the Discord if people want to read. I think. Maybe. Whole file. That's a terrible way to read that. Oh my gosh. Wrap text. That's what I want. Gosh dang it. Okay. Maybe we'll share it in a different document. So you had the Odyssey happening first, which makes sense. That just happens. I don't know what actors star in that won't be. Anne Hathaway's in
is
it.
the only.
Anne Hathaway's in it.
I think she
so
might be the only one.
Penelope.
Oh,
somebody else.
Matt Damon
Yeah.
was in Interstellar as well.
I don't love including Odyssey right now just because I don't know the story, but if you guys want to, go ahead.
I want to move
It's
to
a
the more
Nolan
interesting
movie.
ones, you know.
So
It's a Nolan movie.
just because you didn't do the homework.
No, I didn't. Oh, Gary Oldman also played Truman in Oppenheimer. I don't remember that.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
That's cool. There, William's copying it now. So let's just say that the Odyssey happened. And then you get, or the Prestige takes place in. I'm actually gonna go on William. I am actually glad that you did this because the timelines is something that I'm not fully. It's fully in my mind. So, need a breath. The Prestige happened in the 1890s, is according to William. The world according to William. And that includes Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman doesn't come back. But Christian Bale, Angier, has a twin brother. One of them lives, one of them dies. And or one of them is sentenced to prison forever, technically. And that could help our case, you know? No, he does die.
Well, he was
he
hung.
says
Yeah, he was
he
hung
dies
at the end
because
of the movie.
he gets hung and he's like, I forget. It was
Abracadabra.
something at Abracadabra, yeah. That's pretty kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of a dope last word. But so you think he dies, and then it's revealed that he has a twin brother, and that that's the whole Prestige, which is probably, you know, that was the first episode ever. That's awesome. And within the Prestige also is John Cutter, who is not only wasn't he Borden? No. I'm not on top of it. Angier, yeah. So Hugh Jackman wasn't guys, I suck at names. I'm gonna admit it, and this is not my forte. So Michael Caine is Hugh Jackman's guy. Like he's aiding him, isn't he?
Aiding both of them, kind of.
In a way, because
Yeah.
he then takes he takes care of the daughter for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Zach had a good way to take this, not necessarily into the next movie chronologically, but a
Are you gonna let
connection
me take
between.
it since I said it?
You did, didn't you? Messaged it to me.
Yes, but I'm saying, are you gonna let me share it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I was still doing a preamble.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I just
Go
didn't.
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, well, what I think is interesting is that like the well, Christian Bale's character's name is Alfred in
One of the characters.
The Prestige.
Yeah.
Well, yes, one of the brothers is probably named Alfred. I guess we don't know if Alfred's even actually like the real name of either of them.
That's
But
true.
anyway, I think it's cool within this theory to think, you know, because obviously the only way for a lot of this to make sense is that like Michael Caine is some like immortal deity.
Yeah.
So I think it's the only way for most of this to work. So
Yeah.
I think it makes sense then. So if he was kind of like close to Alfred in The Prestige, kind of his relationship and identity in the Dark Knight trilogy. You know, he takes on the name of Alfred. I think like kind of a reminder of what like Bruce from like having what happened to Alfred happen to him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Wikipedia does not say which one died. It also lists him as Alfred, Frederick, or Bernard Fallon. Oh, Bernard Fallon was his maked-up version. So Frederick and Alfred Borden are twins. I don't remember which one is actually the one who dies. But it does make sense that not only after The Prestige does Michael Caine take on a new identity, as we're gonna just assume with every movie, but he also takes on I'm gonna go out on a limb to just say that I'm gonna pretend that the stage between something is dinging it. I need to mute Discord. Someone is popping off. Oh, Hondor. Sorry, bud. I just need to mute it is all. I don't mind you messaging. And my camera's fritzing. This is fine. I was gonna say that that Bruce does lose his parents at the beginning, and then he's timelines aside, remember, and then he's in his orphanage. He is also a little bit poor and goes off to be a magician to try and find some identity. And then he, after the events of The Prestige, he is brought back in to the family by, oh gosh.
Just say young child, or whatever. You don't have to be specific.
Just working on my camera. One of these days.
I feel like
Michael Caine and he gather or join forces after Batman Begins is basically what we're saying.
Okay. You know, there's another way this would all make a lot. It wouldn't be theologically consistent with our worldview, but you could just say that they're all just being reincarnated. That
would be a good point.
That's what I was thinking with Christian Bale's character, especially.
Yeah.
Like Michael Caine. I don't think Michael Caine's character like ever dies.
Yeah.
I don't think his character's ever died in movies.
Well,
so he's gonna be like an immortal
Inception.
being.
He did in Inception.
We also have
but
to
that's the last.
though.
Inception is the last movie.
No,
sorry, not Inception. Sorry.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. I meant Interstellar. I didn't say that.
Interstellar, he dies. Oh, which makes sense that he would die then.
And Interstellar is going to be the last movie.
There's also that we are also can't forget something else though, like the fact there's another micro theory, like reincarnation, simple, whatever. There's also I think that you could say that like we can't forget like in the Prestige, what is a device that's able to replicate people and objects and things? Mm-hmm. Well, it's in the Prestige. It's Tesla's device. So the other thing I was thinking about is like in some way you could somehow theorize that Tesla's device or machine or whatever is rebuilt because he's still alive. And so hypothetically,
that could be so crucial.
Every person,
in a world,
they're just remaking new people or whatever.
In a world where the Tesla device and the turnstiles from Tenet exist, this is entirely possible. I did this as a joke, you guys. We might be onto something.
Yep. Or
here's
something else I was even thinking about a bit more for thinking about Tenet and all that. Is that this is a bit more out there, but I think you could have something with like the Tesla device, or this could be either tacked on with that, or it could just be its own theory. But like, you know, in Tenet, we realize that people are kind of able to go backwards in time. What if Michael Caine is like a long-term part of like a long-term con where he's going back in time at various points to kind of oversee this long-term operation, and then people from the future are also being sent back in time to do like different jobs or different positions or whatever. But it's like you could have like multiple people, like the same person at different points in time, but it would still work because of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, because they're not interacting with each other.
And it would also make so much sense having Oppenheimer be the first one, because Oppenheimer's work in starting the atomic age could very easily be what started secret government entities that would eventually found the dark side of Wayne Enterprises and eventually the future Tenet organization as well.
Or even more, and here's something else you have to think about. What's also in the Batman
Yeah.
trilogy that's a secret society that wants to like govern and rule the world? The League of Assassins. They said that they've been around for like centuries. So you could even
The
like
League of
say,
Assassins.
yeah, the League of Assassins. I'm just saying like there's like some sort of connection you can make with that too, or like maybe they get involved somehow with like whatever the future people or something like that. But like that's
Yeah.
another secret society that would be interested in like maintaining what like trying to guide the world to whatever they want to be. So there's a lot of like different possibilities that you gotta pull on here.
I'm gonna also we don't need to write that out or go word by word or go movie by movie to explain it. I think I'm gonna point people to our document that Will and I Hondor have put together. I know he AI'd it together, but it helps me.
Just funny.
I'm gonna posture that the names Inception.
What I
No.
What I think we need to
give me this,
consider
give me
too
this.
is like, okay, sorry, while you were paused, I was okay.
Frick, what's the?
I can see the gears turning.
Saito.
Oh, the Japanese
I
guy?
think you can make a connection between Saito and the League of Assassins. While he wasn't
And
Ra's
Ra's
al
al
Ghul, he could have been in a past time or before the race that we knew in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I think that, and maybe that's a little racist to say that the Asian is also connected to the Asian assassin group. But I think that that's a connection you can make where he's kind of this all-powerful, you don't really know what he's in charge of. Not that he has any assassins show up, but he is a businessman who is all-powerful, and that's kind of how race is sometimes portrayed. So I think that you can make that connection. I didn't even remember that there was a character named Cobb in the following. But that makes sense too, to kind of start off. And that one doesn't even have to be faces. That could just be the start of Cobb's beginning.
Lineage.
And because he is a burglar in Inception in a way. And so he's kind of like the Hobbit burglar. He's like, burglar, whatever. What else do you guys got?
I think it's how the technology interacts with each other from the different movies, I think is something we have to consider. I mean, like starting with just like, well, with Tesla's device, and then like nuclear energy is its own crazy thing in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And then we have the Dream device from Interstellar. And then
not necessarily
I think
energy,
Tesseract,
but definitely technology.
Yeah. The Tesseract from Interstellar
Mm-hmm.
has to play a huge role in this.
Yeah. I think so.
Because I think that's something that can connect a lot of this. And just the idea too of like I think Interstellar is going to be really important to this. Just like how Josh was saying, Tenet's got to be really important. Because I think the idea of just the fact that they decided to save the Earth, save the people on Earth, so the people of Earth could evolve to the point of creating something like the Tesseract. So I think the idea of this highly evolved people in the distant future who can create something like the Tesseract is also maybe Michael Caine is one of those highly evolved people. I'm just throwing that out
That's
there.
what I mean. Like he's from the future or something like that. I think what we're seeing is like essentially, if you look at it from like a wide perspective, what we're seeing is like a whole bunch of like different groups that are kind of operating in the shadows in the background, interacting with each other. None of them, except for like right near the end, none of them are probably able to see the full picture because each of them has their own different goals and all that. But they're all kind of part of this really big, if you're able to step back, time thing. And you know, and like maybe. Like and that like it's so, like it all culminates in the end, but we're not able to see that because like we're just focused on like each individual movie and each individual story. It's
exactly how Christopher Nolan would probably write a story like this. That's actually why I think if we were thinking of it as a sequential or order, Interstellar should be second to last. And let me explain. Even though it has the most like futuristic like end of the world type stuff, the technology that would be developed from that and the Tesseract could be the future people or the people that they're talking about in Tenet. The antagonist, him being like, oh, the people in the future, the people like from this different world are leaving stuff behind for me so that I can basically rule this time, a day and time, right?
But that's the same idea of Tenet. Sador was getting not even downloads, literal dead drops
But it's-
from the future to influence what they saw as the past, but what he saw as the present, to be able to be the most powerful man in the world because the people in the future were helping him. The same idea in Interstellar. And I think Interstellar and Tenet are more closely connected because of the need to control time. And not, I guess the Tesseract wasn't even controlling time because, well,
Yeah.
you can manipulate time, but you
It
couldn't
was space time.
actually go back. But I think they are the keys to even. I said we were going to forget names and time periods, but those two aspects make it so much more palpable to present the idea that these
Yeah.
are connected and that they could be the same characters, whether they're using the Tesseract or the turnstiles.
I say Interstellar would be first.
Well, and if we're
in this.
doing,
Go ahead.
Zach's really lagging.
I was just going to say, if we're doing a timeline of Nolan films like this, we have to take the time periods into consideration. So,
Yeah, because I think for Tenet and Interstellar, what's either going on
so
is either.
am I lagging that bad now?
You're
Yes.
really bad. It's like 10 seconds.
God dang.
But what's going on with Tenet and Interstellar is you have two advanced civilizations, or at least people who are in the future who are advanced enough to involve themselves in time travel. And so what's either going on is, one, I think either you could, option one is that Interstellar take, like the people in Interstellar are past the people in Tenet, the future people in Tenet. Two, they're occupying like the same like present. So the people in the Interstellar future, the people in the Tenet future are kind of like rival, and they're both trying to involve themselves in time and going back in time to alter the past or whatever, because like they're not divided or whatever. I think that's kind of like the two main options, and I kind of defer a bit more to like Interstellar. Like the people in Interstellar are the ones who kind of won over or whatever. And this is kind of like just their long con to make sure it all ends out how it's supposed to be. But it could just also be that maybe they're just rival groups in the future who are both trying to alter time to make it so that they win, or that
What if
to alter it to their outcomes.
the two groups of people in the future, he's gone. Two groups of people in the future that we know of are either good or bad. Your camera looks a lot better, Zach.
Am I lagging?
Doesn't look like it. You're
oh,
much
there we
higher
go.
quality.
Okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
The two groups of people that we know of in the future, from Interstellar and from Tenet, are both doing different things. They both have different morals. The people in the future in Tenet are bad, and they want Sador to win so that they can blow up the Earth or whatever, or make everything collapse on itself. The people in Interstellar in the future want to help Cooper by giving him the Tesseract to make him be able to manipulate time. Both have the same goal, but they have different morals. And so what if those future ethereal people are at war with each other and they're trying to manipulate the past in some way, even though from a bigger picture it's all a closed loop? Not that Interstellar has time travel, but at least Tenet is like, things in Tenet will always happen no matter what you decide, because it's a closed loop. And I mean, Interstellar is the same way, because Cooper wouldn't have been in the Tesseract if he hadn't seen the books fall and still left. That's still a closed loop. But
so, just to wrap my brain around everything we're saying, because this is like more confusing than a Christopher Nolan film right now, is that in the distant future, there's highly evolved people. There's two groups of them. There's the good ones and the bad ones. The good ones helped Cooper come up with the equation to save the world, and the bad ones sent Sador that stuff to like destroy the world. Correct? That's what we're saying?
I believe so.
But both, or at least the good people, have had like people planted throughout like the entire timeline here. I mean, with Michael Caine being a great example of it, right?
Sure. I see what you're saying. So agents throughout time.
Yeah, which makes sense that, like, especially like, I think with how important Tesla's device is, it would make sense that they would drop an agent so close to that with Michael Caine's character there.
Another headcanon here. Cillian Murphy also could be one of the bad people in that future, sent back to cause fear and to destroy and to also start all of the technology with Oppenheimer in his development of the atomic
Did
age.
you say fear on purpose?
Yeah, I think so. Because
Well, because it's Scarecrow.
Okay, I didn't know if that just slipped by, and I was like, wait a second, that fits. No.
Yeah.
thinking.
I do think that what if chronologically in the real world, or not in the real world, in their world, Oppenheimer goes crazy at the end. Not in a literal historical version, but he goes
Zach had a
crazy
brain-
and has to. He's already a scientist, so he goes, or not he goes to the Dark Knight trilogy, but he becomes Scarecrow. Zach has something huge.
So is Inception then kind of like a redemption for his character?
Do you think that's after
Just
Dark
like-
Knight?
Well, yeah, Inception's got to be after Dark Knight, right?
Gotta be.
Well,
Did we have it as
Oh, I mean, Dark Knight is still present. I would say it's got technology from the present, so does Inception. Maybe has a little bit futuristic, but again, this isn't our world. This is their fictional.
I would put Inception after Dark Knight.
Okay, so you
And I
think
think that
Inception
makes-
is his?
I think especially if this character's had an arc from Oppenheimer until now, Inception makes more sense for his ending.
Hmm.
than
Well, again, something else we also have to consider for time stuff, and this is why I was saying like you could have multiple characters at different points in time and still be them. Like, let's say that you went back in time to like you were the character, you went back in time to be Oppenheimer, and you lived out Oppenheimer's life, and you died as Oppenheimer. But also you went back in time to 2000. That's still you, but just a different time. But it's not the same you who became the Oppenheimer.
I was gonna say that's how Dunkirk would work, because even though Oppenheimer and Dunkirk happened at the same time, World War II, the reason that he's a shivering soldier in the ocean is because that's a different Cillian Murphy going through time. So that's like when the protagonist had two people in the same time. They're still going forward, but it was both him.
Yes.
So I think he was Oppenheimer, and then he tried to go back, and then he got traumatized, did Dunkirk, and then went crazy, turned into the Scarecrow, went into pharmaceuticals, and then was redeemed in Inception. Zach, before I release my microphone and my stage, you're gonna love the Joseph Gordon-Levitt headcanon I came up with, because
What's that?
when he says my real name's Robin, and he takes the thing, then he becomes an agent. He's working for the behind the scenes, as a vigilante, but instead of actually becoming the Robin we know and love, he becomes Arthur from Inception, and is still doing work to try and help people as somebody off the books, off the law. It just happens to be Arthur, who is a architect in Inception.
So I feel like he could just be a normal guy in most of this. He doesn't necessarily have to be involved
Immortal.
in any of this immortal, highly
I
evolved.
think so.
people
Just
stuff.
because
Well,
Dark Knight
again,
and
and
Inception
then-
it presumably are so
Yeah.
close together.
Yeah.
Again, like just like in real life, there's like different people are going to have like different knowledge and different interactions. You could just be like hired by somebody. Like you could like if you met Michael Caine and he was like this immortal, or not this immortal, like this time jumping agent or whatever. You don't necessarily have to know that. You just know him as Alfred, and he just set you up for this stuff. Like again, people are going to be involved in different ways. That's what I mean. Like it's a whole mishmash of different secret societies, different organizations, different groups within time doing their own interactions, and it gets a little complicated and crazy. And so how it looks from in any individual's perspective in a specific time set is going to be different.
Yeah. Because Michael Caine could do like the whole, he was in The Prestige, he takes on Alfred's name and then becomes Alfred in The Dark Knight. And obviously, we're assuming he's the immortal one. But like Tom Hardy, if we're saying Inception comes after Dark Knight, Bane dies in The Dark Knight Rises. But I believe that then that would be an explanation for two different Tom Hardys. Maybe he was in Inception, and after he got out of that, he went back in time to do he was in Dunkirk, he goes through Inception, and then he goes back in time using the Tenet time style and is Bane, and then dies there. I don't even know if most people die once, but I would say if they die twice, they have two people in the same timeline, or just same, going parallel from the turnstile. That's not just a cop out. It's the turnstile being the same person. Just one has gone back and gone forward, and then some others make sense without that.
That could explain like his breathing apparatus and stuff. That like he's gone through so much that he would actually need that sort of stuff, and also uber steroids in order to stay alive.
We need a Tom Hardy movie somewhere in the future where he's been using the turnstiles so much that his, you need special air. He was the one who didn't use the inverted oxygen, and now he needs that breathing apparatus for Bane.
Maybe that breathing apparatus is inverted oxygen.
Oh, that's crazy.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works because he's still moving forward in time. But maybe he's become so used to going in reverse that he can only breathe inverted oxygen even though he is moving forward because his body has become so in tune with moving backwards. You could even say that Inception is his first movie.
Reflexes.
Inception is his first movie. He goes back to Dunkirk. He's been living 60 years in the inverted oxygen, that when he turns back to go to be Bane, that he can't do anything else. Like he can't breathe real oxygen. That would be one way to do it, is to say that he's been living 60 years with inverted oxygen.
Does he die in Inception?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anyone dies in Inception because they're all on the plane in the end.
Oh yeah,
in the real world. Yeah.
The only thing that happens in Inception is maybe you go crazy. Like that's
you go down to limbo.
So are we? So is Michael Caine's character like actually an immortal being then, or is he just kind of like going like in and out of time?
It's whatever you want, really.
I think he's
but for
he's
like
the all powerful
our
one,
concise theory. Does he still need to be though? With what we're talking about,
I suppose we could trim him down a bit.
Because I think like, I mean, with
I just liked that. I like the Alfred thing so much. I didn't want to let that go.
It can still fit.
Sure.
With him like popping in and out, like near important like people and important devices.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really want to do the Alfred thing too, like, did we ever learn the last name of oh yeah, it was Borden. Okay. Hypothetically, maybe the daughter whatever moves to were they in America? They were in America. Maybe they moved to Gotham, whatever, and like that's what ends up becoming the Waynes, and he's the one who actually helped set them up, being wealthy and all that.
Is he in Prestige?
Who?
Alfred.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, he's the.
What if he got duplicated?
That's possible.
Like quite a few times.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying that he can jump in and out of time, or that he's
because
eternal.
he's one of the highly evolved people.
Yeah, he'd basically almost be like Cooper, where he can like see time at different points, and just like maybe instead of like just like interacting, he could actually jump through it.
Yeah.
Like enter different.
Yeah.
What if he found like an infinite life loop where he would be able to exist like permanently by using the turnstiles and Tenet to go back in time to duplicate himself and then live life over again? So he himself is like living in a full loop.
Well, and that's something like Honda brought up Flashpoint in the chat. Flashpoint gets really weird sometimes depending on how you write it, and it can be like a even like the Flash movie, as much as it sucks, the one guy, the second Flash, was trying so many times that he became Savitar. Basically, they didn't say Savitar, but he was trying so many times that he just became crazy. Now Michael Caine doesn't go crazy in any of the movies, but he could ascend to that level of not being able to be truly bound anymore. I know we have a very short amount of time. I think one last thing I want to pitch is Matt Damon, who in our rough outline is in the Odyssey, is in Oppenheimer, and is in Interstellar. He's like the entire spectrum of our storyline.
Oh, I forgot.
I think levels of craziness differ throughout the Nolan verse, but the reason Dr. Mann is a little crazy and shaken up in Interstellar is because he's lived so much, and he was already in cryosleep in Interstellar. What's to say he couldn't have been in cryosleep from 600 BC to 1945, and then from 1945 to 2100 or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I just want to mention before we go, because I don't know if Nolan's going to actually have any gods or anything, or if he's going to try and find a reasonable explanation. But you could also have some sort of idea that like this, like even if there's divine entities, that they could be like some people could be some of these could be divine entities that are essentially lost so much of their influence because of the loss of belief or whatever, that they just kind of like linger on as like half living mortals essentially. There's also something you could throw into there as well. That are like echoes.
Yeah, I like that.
Zach had a brain cannon.
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah, make it fast.
What if what if the highly to just bring it all together, the highly evolved people from the future in Interstellar are the Greek gods.
Or that too. That's what I was thinking as well. Is like
Ooh,
you
full
could
circle.
eventually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, in the Pixar theory, the key thing that they
I'm
started.
so delayed again. I'm just.
I know
realizing
you are.
this.
I know you are. In the Pixar theory, you can see that the witch in
Too late.
Brave has a carving of Sully, and people think that that's the loop. Is that the
Yeah.
doors from Monsters Inc. inspired Boo to look into witchcraft to try and find Kitty Sully, and that is the loop that makes everything possible. Is that she's been looking into that so much, and I think that all comes together the same way that this could come together, where the gods of the Odyssey are the people at the end of time as well. It's all a loop. And that's why we can watch the movies over and over and over again. Absolute cinema. Everybody, Zach
Absolute
or Josh,
cinema.
Josh. There we go. That's a screenshot.
Damn, pop back up.
Yeah. All right, we gotta get out of here.
Little bit.
Thank you guys for entertaining me. This worked out way better than I thought. I was kind
I
of
thought so
on
too.
not on pins and needles. I was like, is this really gonna work? And you guys made it work. And I think a lot of creative people, maybe even William, could write out a full story that's like, this is how
Maybe
this works.
even
This is how each
William.
character's followed. This is even what did you say?
I just maybe
silent
even
shade.
William.
I'm saying that somebody could take this and write it. William could also do that if he has time. But I think this could be like, if you could condense it into a 2-hour movie, how would you do that to explain everything that has happened in his cinematography? I think it'd be really
The
fun.
ultimate Nolan cut. Like you just like make like a 3-hour movie where you just like cut parts from every film and you just somehow combine it together into this Frankenstein
could.
monstrosity that actually
He's
shows like
cooking.
the entire Nolan. Film
think
video
you could
editors
do
get on it.
Well, you could. You still need a few pickup
Seth,
shots.
get
and
on
that-
it.
You need a few pickup shots of like the world between the time. What is it? I think the wood between the worlds, but like the Star Wars thing, or
Yeah. The floating
no, the
grid
Tesseract.
lines
I'm just saying
between
the
worlds.
Tesseract.
Tesseract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to show the entire movie. You can just say, and now Christian Bale's off to be Batman or something. So I think somebody could do that. I think it'd be really fun. But we gotta go. Thank you guys. There are still so many stickers left. Order them now. I don't care. I want to get rid of them. What happened to my camera? Share this with a friend. I think this is one of the best ones we've done in a while. So thank you so much for listening or watching. And until next week, know that you're loved. God bless.
Peace out, brethren.
Go with courage.
Thanks for watching, Mom.
There he is. Glad he caught up.